That night, I faced one of the most devastating moments of my life. After years of marriage and raising two amazing children, I had experienced countless days of pure happiness. I returned home early that day, expecting nothing out of the ordinary. However, when I stepped into our bedroom and saw the determined look on Lori's face, I was left speechless. Was this just a casual trip, or was it the kind of betrayal that would unravel everything I believed in? Before I tell you what happened, are you ready to hear the truth? If you don't want to make the same mistakes I did, make sure to subscribe to my channel. We share real-life lessons from true stories every day. Don't forget to leave a comment and like the video after subscribing. Now, let's dive into what truly occurred. My name is Bill Miller. At the time of this life-changing event, my wife Lori and I had just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. We met in college and married right after graduation. Together, we had two incredible daughters, Kelly and Erin. Kelly had just started her journey at university, while Erin was only 6 weeks away from finishing high school. We had sent Kelly off to the state university, and Erin was considering following in her footsteps. Like most siblings, they had their differences, but Kelly's departure left a noticeable void in our home. I work as a partner at a major accounting firm, while Lori is a director at a building materials company. Although she originally studied English in college, her career path took a different turn. Financially, we were comfortable. We owned a beautiful home, drove new cars, and lived a stable life. But despite all of this, Kelly leaving for college affected Lori deeply. I had started noticing a change in her lately. She seemed distant, withdrawn, but I never questioned it too much. That Friday, I decided to leave work early. Erin was away on a school trip for the weekend, so it was just Lori and me at home. I saw this as the perfect opportunity to reconnect, maybe even reignite the spark in our marriage with a romantic dinner. Perhaps, deep down, I sensed something was off, but instead of confronting it, I convinced myself that strengthening our bond was a solution. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed Lori's car already parked in the garage. She had left work early, too. I stepped inside, calling out, "Honey, I'm home." "I'm here," she replied. When I entered the room, I found her sitting at the vanity, carefully applying makeup. She wore the black dress I had gifted her last Christmas, paired with the elegant pearl necklace I had given her years ago. But what truly caught my attention was the open suitcase beside her, half filled with clothes. My stomach sank. She wasn't preparing for the romantic evening I had envisioned. The reality hit me like a hammer. "Are we going somewhere?" I asked hesitantly. "You didn't mention any plans, but I can pack quickly if we're going on a trip." "Where are we headed?" The excitement in my voice vanished the moment I heard her response. Lori looked down, speaking slowly. "Bill, I'm sorry, but I have plans this weekend. A date, actually. I wasn't going to tell you, but since you're home early, I need to explain." The word date echoed in my mind like a loud alarm. A date? How could she even say that while we were married? My brain couldn't process what I had just heard. "Dating?" I repeated, stunned. "What are you talking about? We're married, Lori. We don't have an open relationship. How could you do this?" Her voice remained calm, almost too composed. "Bill, it's just for the weekend," she said. "Ever since Kelly left, I've felt lost. I don't know who I am anymore. This is something I need to do. It's like therapy. I'm taking the weekend to reevaluate everything. On Monday, I'll be back. Nothing will change." Her words sent a chill down my spine. "This is insanity, Lori. How long has this been going on? Who is this guy? Have you been having an affair?" "No," she answered immediately. "It's not an affair. We've only had lunch a few times. That's all. It's nothing serious. It was just an impulse. He's married, too, and he has kids. I don't want to ruin our relationship. This is just for weekend. Please, try to understand me." The word understand ignited a fury within me. How could someone ask their spouse to accept such a thing? Worse still, how could they justify it, convincing themselves that spending time with another man would somehow benefit our marriage? I confronted her directly. "Do you really think this will help us?" Without hesitation, her response was immediate and her tone unwavering. "Yes, I need to feel young, beautiful, and alive again. I'm hoping you'll respect my decision and let me have this weekend for myself. I promise I'll be back by Monday morning, and everything will return to normal." At that moment, I no longer recognized a woman standing before me. The person I had shared my life with for decades now felt like a stranger. My mind raced, struggling to form a response. I took a deep breath before speaking. "If you're set on going through with this, that's your choice," I said, my voice steady. "But you still have time to reconsider. Before your Uber gets here, you can change your mind. I just ask that you keep your phone on for safety reasons. That's all." She paused, as if weighing my words, then nodded. "All right, but you have to promise me you won't follow me or try to interfere." I agreed, though inside I was boiling with anger. This betrayal wasn't some fleeting mistake. It was a choice, and it would change everything. As Lori continued packing, I sat silently, torn between stopping her and preserving my dignity. When the Uber finally arrived, she grabbed her suitcase and left, not once looking back. The moment she disappeared from sight, I reached for my phone. This was the start of something new. A name surfaced in my mind. Someone who had once meant a lot to me, but whom I had never pursued because of my commitment to Lori. Sarah. It was time. I dialed her number, my hand shaking slightly. "Sarah, it's Bill." There was a warmth in her voice as she responded. "Bill? Wow, it's been a long time. I was wondering how you were doing." I went straight to the point, telling her everything. Lori's decision, the betrayal, and how our marriage had just crumbled in a single weekend. There was a brief silence on the other end. Then Sarah spoke softly. "Bill, what do you need from me?" I exhaled, steadying myself. "I told you before, if my marriage ever fell apart, I'd call you. Well, here I am. I don't want to be alone tonight. I just need to talk." Without hesitation, Sarah agreed. That night, I went to her home, where she greeted me with a gentle smile. Her presence and kindness were like a balm to my wounded soul. We sat for hours, talking about everything. Lori's betrayal, my emotions, and the connection Sarah and I had always shared but never acted on. As the night wore on, I realized something. I hadn't just come to Sarah for comfort. I wanted more. I wanted her in my life. The weekend that followed changed everything. I wasn't just physically present with Sarah. I was emotionally immersed in her warmth, her understanding, her love. For the first time in years, I felt whole. It was then that I realized Lori's decision to walk out that night wasn't a loss. It was a chance for a new beginning. By Sunday evening, Lori returned. There was a glint in her eyes as she walked in confidently, as if nothing had changed. "I'm back. Nothing's different," she said, her voice filled with certainty. But she didn't realize that everything had changed. I listened as she spoke, my mind already made up. Finally, I spoke without hesitation. "Lori, this weekend made me realize something. I can't do this anymore. Our marriage is over. I'm not saying I won't forgive you, but I can't stay in this relationship. I've already started the divorce process." The smug look on her face disappeared in an instant. Panic flickered in her eyes as reality sank in. She had assumed I would wait for her, that things would return the way they were. But she was wrong. Tears welled up in her eyes as she pleaded. But my decision was final. The divorce process moved quickly and fairly. I sat down with our daughters, Kelly and Aaron, and explained what had happened in a way that wouldn't make them resent their mother. I encouraged them to continue loving her, despite her mistakes. In time, we all adjusted to this new reality. As for Sarah and me, we found our way back to each other. Over the years, our love deepened, and we built a beautiful life together. Eventually, we married and started our own family, raising 2 wonderful children alongside Sarah's son, Jacob. Looking back, I see that weekend as a turning point. Sometimes the deepest betrayals don't just break you, they set you free. Lori's selfish decision cost her everything, but in losing her, I found something far greater: true love.